Matthew Hamilton. This is my final speech. This is my audience. Did you know that over 1/3 of this country's adults and children are considered to be overweight? Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about obesity. Now I'm sure that everyone in this room probably knows someone or them themselves have been considered to be obese. I myself was once considered obese when I weighed over 40 pounds overweight. Now, with this being such a huge problem with all of us and everyone in the country, I want to talk to you a little bit about the effects, the astonishing amounts, and the possible solutions for obesity. Now, the effects of obesity are greatly underexaggerated. There's no doubt that there's a link between heart disease and obesity. Heart disease including heart attacks, congestive heart failure, sudden heart death, things like anginas, chest pain, abnormal heart rhythms, and even more developments. Also, people suffer from sleep apnea, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, low levels of HDL, which would be considered, which are the good cholesterol, and high levels of the LDL, which gives you high cholesterol. Also, physical inactivity. When you have limited physical inactivity, this limits what you can do with your friends and family, what kind of job you can have, you know, just everything that you do is affected by it. And with those kind of effects, you want to know exactly how many people are affected by this disease they call obesity. Now, obesity is a BMI of 30 or higher. Now, your BMI calculates between your weight and your height, and it's a calculation. There's charts that you can use, or you can get online, and there's a website, cdc.org. Now, 30% or 30 points higher on your BMI, or 20% over your ideal body weight. Now, you can also, to determine if you are obese, your waist size, which in women it's over size 35 inches, and in men it's over 40. Now, how many of us are considered to have those things? 35.7% of adults in the country are considered to be obese. 17% of children ages 2 to 19. Now, over 20 years, in the past 20 years, obesity rates have more than tripled. Now, in 2010, there were 36 states that had over 20% obesity rates. There were 12 of those that had more than 30% of their citizens to be considered obese. Now, if you get on the website cdc.gov, they'll show you some of those statistics, and they have a listing for every state, so you can know your local areas, rates, and everything else. Now, knowing that all these people are obese in our country and what effects it can have, you want to know what can you do to possibly fix this problem. Now, one of the things you can do is assess your local retail food environment. You know, what kind of restaurants are popping up in our neighborhoods, and you know, what are the fast food joints serving, and what do we have to offer our youth, you know, where they can get things to eat. You want to provide support to your farmer markets and your grocery stores to bring fresh produce and up that amount and do away with the preserved goods. You know, and you can push salad bars in schools. Now, I know when I was in school there was no salad bar, and I'm sure that most schools out there still don't. Another thing you should do in schools, because is push water over your canned sodas, like your Coca-Cola, which is marketed all over schools all over the world, and Sprites. These carbonated drinks are one of the main causes, and all you can do is push water and get rid of the sugary drinks and carbonated drinks. Another thing you can do is support breastfeeding, as statistics have always shown that children that were breastfed were a lot less likely to be obese as adults. Now, another thing we can do is provide safe neighborhoods and parks for our children to go play in. Now, I know that Longview doesn't even have a walkable system in its town. It doesn't even have sidewalks that we can use every day. Kids can't ride their bike down the street because there's no sidewalks. Something like that is something we could all do or push for to help with locally. And it starts here, and then you move bigger and bigger. And the main thing you want to do is make awareness. If people are aware of the problem, then people will become aware of a solution. Now, as we all will become parents one day and have children, it's our job to teach our kids and do the things that it takes to make them not be obese and not have to worry about suffering from the problems that it can cause. Now, all of you are aware of the effects, the amounts, and some possible solutions to obesity. And I hope that when you leave here, you would consider some things that you do in your next life-changing movements, or just things that your friends do and things you can do